Will the Bengals beat the Seahawks on Sunday and improve to 3-3 on the season? My thoughts on Joe Burrow, Tee Higgins, Chidobe Awuzie, a Bengals offense that's hoping to continue what it started last week, a defense still looking to make its stride, hit its stride. We dive into that, plus my prediction for Sunday's matchup right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to CBT. I'm James Rapien of allbengals.com. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, get to rivertowninquiry.com after you finish this video because look at this. Look at this beautiful hat right here. This is the official hat of CBT, and whether it's this one, whether you want to rock it backwards, which of course I do, this is the dad hat. Shout out to all the dads out there. Or maybe you want the rope hat. Either way, you can get yours at rivertowninquiry.com. Let's get into Sunday's game because Sunday's game is huge. It is big. It is bigger than last week. Why? Well, because it's this week and we don't look in the past. Ha, gotcha. No, but in all seriousness, it is because the moment they lost in Nashville, everyone looked at this schedule, everyone, including the Bengals. And I know Joe has said, Joe Burrow, that it's week to week and he's looking at this week and looking to be 1-0 every week. I get all that. You better believe that this team looked at it and said, hey, we have to get these next two. So they went to Arizona. They got one. It was a fun flight back, flight home to Cincinnati. This game is just as much of a must win, and it is just as crucial that they get the victory. And so how did they do that? Key number one is probably going to be the same key for the rest of time. Can you protect Joe Burrow? Keep Joe Burrow upright. Let Joe Burrow maneuver in the pocket, which I'm glad we're talking about, and doing the little twirly spin move. Look, he's confident right now on that right calf. And if he's confident, the Bengals should be confident that he's going to put them in a position to win. We know he's a competitor. We know all of that. But he's starting to look like the Joe Burrow I saw on the first few days of camp, where he was just so dialed in. It was the best I had ever seen him. Best I've seen him, period. And I raved about it. And I felt almost ignorant to say that, oh, man, Joe Burrow looks amazing. But it looked like he had taken another step. And while I think he left some throws on the field against Arizona, I also think he's flashed that guy again for the first time really since injuring his calf on July 27th. So can he continue on that trajectory? He certainly thinks so. I know he's confident. So what could be the fly in the ointment? Fly in the ointment could be, and the reason that he wouldn't continue that upwards trajectory isn't what Seattle could do schematically, because I think Burrow will figure that out. It is protecting him and keeping him upright and letting him get settled into this game. Of course, a fast start's important. That's not one of my keys this week, but a fast start is important every single week. But to me, keeping Joe Burrow upright, letting him be able to navigate the pocket, giving him lanes to step up, step around, all of those subtle pocket movements that I stressed last week going into the game against Arizona, that is such a key for me. And that is certainly key number one. Key number two, let's go to the defense. It is all about slowing down this rushing attack for the Seattle Seahawks. They want to ground and pound this Bengals defense, and they will look at what the Bengals have done up to this point and say, we can ground and pound them. We can beat them up. We can be physical at the point of attack and average 5.5 yards a carry with two really, really good running backs, Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet. Walker was a second-round pick a couple of years ago. He's in year two. Charbonnet, a second-round pick in April, someone we talked about on this channel as being a potential fit for the Bengals. The Seahawks take him earlier. I think it was 49th overall, earlier than some expected. And now they have this two-headed monster at running back, and they've leaned on these guys early in the season. I expect them to do the same on Sunday. So can the Bengals stop them? That is a huge, huge key, because really what the Seahawks are is the way better, way more talented version of the Cardinals. Like their entire team. I think that the Cardinals defense had a good scheme. The Seahawks defense has a good scheme, and they're more talented. They've got better players. On offense, it's similar. They want to lead with the run, the setup, the play action, pass deep downfield, and the big plays downfield. The Cardinals wanted to do that too. The difference is these Seahawks are just much, much more talented, starting with Geno Smith on down. And if you take away the run, then that's going to allow you to be able to defend the big plays. And I think that that's such a big, big thing here against a Seahawks team that it hasn't hasn't hit on a ton of explosives this year, but we know they're coming. And you just want them to start next week, not this week. You don't want to be the team that gives up a bunch of explosive plays. And they have DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, wide receiver. He's their wide receiver 3. And everyone in Ohio here knows him from his Ohio State days. A lot of people are just saying it's a matter of when, not if, he has a big game and breaks out and becomes a big part of this offense. You want it to be next week. And I don't know who the Seahawks play next week, but you want it to be next week. And so taking away the run would certainly do that. But key 3, like I said, about explosives, it's limiting explosive plays. And it's really tough because it goes hand in hand. You don't want explosive runs and you want to contain the run, but you can't get beat over the top. And so guys like Dax Hill are certainly going to be tested. DJ Turner going to be tested. Chidobe Awuzie, he's questionable for the game. I really, really want him to play. And the reason I want him to play is DK Metcalf is so big, so tough, so physical. And by big, I mean tall, strong, all of the above. He's got weight on everybody. And Cheeto's the only corner that's kind of close. And no one's really close, but he's the only one that's kind of comparable. Like Cam Taylor-Britt, it doesn't have that same, like anywhere near the same size, and he would be second. And then you have Mike Hilton and DJ Turner the second. I like all 4 corners. It would be nice to have Cheeto out there, if for nothing else, than to give these other guys that are going to have to face DK, because I'm sure Turner's going to be lined up against him at some point. Cam Taylor-Britt's going to be lined up against him at some point. Maybe even Mike Hilton in the slot if they move in there. The point is, you want Cheeto out there because it helps alleviate some of that and take some of the pressure off dealing with it. Just a big-bodied guy that it's going to take much more each and every play with him leaning on you and all of those things, using his physicality. And they can be physical too. But I think that that's such an aspect element of it, is of having Cheeto on the field. So key 3, eliminate explosive plays deep downfield. So far, these are pretty similar to Arizona. And you notice a theme. Why? Because they're similar teams. I just think the Seahawks are that much better. And then number 4, and I will end keys wise with number 4. So far we have protect Joe Burrow, stop the run, eliminate the explosives downfield. Key number 4 is simple. Someone has to emerge on offense, not named Jamar Chase, for some big plays downfield. Some big plays. Now, what does that mean? That means that if it's Trenton Irwin and Tee Higgins can't go, that the 8 for 60, as good as it was last week, you need to make sure that you get enough separation on the flea flicker to make that the big play. That's just an example, by the way. I'm not picking on Irwin, but like that play needs to get hit. And so maybe it's Tee Higgins and he plays. Maybe it's Tyler Boyd and he gets a shot at making a huge play. Maybe it's Irv Smith Jr. in the passing game making a big play. It's going to have to be someone else. That doesn't mean Jamar won't have big plays. I just think in this game, I expect it to be close. You're going to need someone else to make a big play downfield. Burrow's comfortable dinking and dunking and hitting the intermediate stuff, but at some point you're going to have to hit one over the top. I don't think the Seahawks are going to allow Jamar to get free over the top. Maybe so. Maybe he does anyways, but I'm not anticipating that. So who does it? Is it Tee Higgins? He's questionable for Sunday's game. I think he's going to play. I'm more confident about him than Cheeto. Hopefully both play because, like I said, this is a must win. Will the Bengals win? My prediction coming your way in just a second. But this video is brought to you by MyBookie. When your money's on the line, choose a trusted sports book that gives you tools to win like MyBookie. It doesn't matter if your team is up or down. You can easily cash out or bet the game live to come out on the winning side. You can use MyBookie for daily odds boosts, same game parlays, take advantage of huge prize pool contests. Plus, MyBookie has a no strings attached cash bonus that lets you deposit and withdraw quick, so you don't have to worry about getting those funds in and out quick. All you have to do is go to MyBookie today. Use promo code BengalsTalk on your first deposit, and you'll receive up to $200 in cash. That's promo code BengalsTalk to claim your own cash bonus now. And you could try the MyBookie money bag to grab a potential Super Bowl frontrunner at long shot odds. Plus 38,000 on the Eagles and Chiefs. You won't find odds like that anywhere else. And of course, you can put the Bengals in that too, which I'm sure there'll be even longer odds with their 2-3 start. And you probably think they have a shot at it. They certainly have a shot at it. You do too. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with my bookie and promo code Bengals Talk. If the Bengals are going to be Super Bowl contenders, I think Sunday's game is a must win. Maybe I'm being dramatic. Maybe they can still rattle off a bunch of wins and they could go to San Francisco and upset them. And then they can come back and beat Buffalo. And just like that, if they were 2-4, they could be 4-4. I get that. I'm not going to rule anything out. Like last week, I never count out Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. But I think they know they need this game. And while the sense of urgency, I think outside the building has calmed down some, just all the interviews I've done with different media outlets this week, it just doesn't feel as urgent. I think the urgency needs to be there just as much, even more to a degree, because this is a better Seahawks team. And I think it will be. The Bengals are as talented as anyone in the league when they're healthy. If Cheeto and T are out there, and obviously Burrow's getting closer and closer to 100%, I'm going to take them at home. This is a close one. I think Geno Smith is a very solid quarterback. He's going to keep them in the game. The Seahawks defense is really talented, really like their defensive backs, but the Bengals do just enough to win. Evan Money McPherson with the game-winning field goal late in the fourth. The Bengals beat the Seahawks 27-24 to improve to 3-3 on the season and win 3 of 4. Think about that. Think about how the narrative changes in the bye. If they're 3-3, they've won 3 of 4, they've won back-to-back games. Joe Burrow's getting healthy, T's getting healthy, Chidobe Awuzie is healthy. Like, this narrative could change a lot. Hopefully those guys play, as in Cheeto and T. Hopefully Burrow continues to play at a high level. And the Bengals, well, if that happens, they should be in position to get their third win of the season. For more, make sure you check out allbengals.com. We will be there on Sunday at Paycor Stadium. So buckle up, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, because it's going to be a fun one. We'll be covering it every single step of the way with our pregame report in the morning. And then, of course, after the game, from Joe Burrow to Zach Taylor to Jamar Chase and other Bengals locker room interviews, we will have your post-game reaction right here on CBT. So for Andrew Fox Miller, our channel coordinator, I'm James Rapien, signing off for now. Thank you so much for watching Cincinnati Bengals Talk.